All right. There we go. All right, guys. We are recording. This is Prosperity Nexus Team Top Tier Talk. This is our weekly team call for Monday, April 17th. So hopefully you got your taxes in. Tomorrow is the deadline. And tomorrow is when I'm mailing mine in. So make sure you do that.
I need more deductions.
Oh, man.
Need more deductions.
Hope you guys had a good Easter too, or Passover, whichever. And now we're ready to rock and roll again. So tonight we wanted to talk about, just kind of what you should be doing, getting more specific and kind of drilling down into, some things that you should be doing on a daily or, weekly or a couple times a week basis, whatever the case may be, in order to make sure that your business is moving forward, make sure that you're maximizing your lead generation, okay? Or the leads that you generate, make sure you're maximizing them and, getting them to the webinar, getting them in front of the presentation, all that good stuff. So I don't really have any screen shares or anything to share, but we just kind of wanted to talk about, guys, jump in because I'm kind of winging this, but we wanted, did you want to say something, John?
Well, yeah, when you're finished, I have something that I'd like to start it out with, and then everybody can round table it from there.
Okay. Well, did you want to talk about the schedule or?
Well, eventually, but I think there's something even more important up front.
Okay.
Nothing happens without excitement, and that even means yourself. And if you can't be excited first about the business, then it doesn't matter if we schedule everything out for you and tell you here are some of the successful things we do. You should be doing this and that and this on Monday and Tuesday. In the end, everybody's human. If they're not excited, they're not going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? And so to me, one of the ways that I constantly, it's a no-brainer anymore, but excite myself and try to get other people excited is you got to look at our business. This is a high-ticket, top-tier business. Every single action you do, you should be thinking about the end result, which is, hey, one sale is $2,000, and that's the lowest one. So if I set up 10 follow-ups this week, I might make 2 sales, and that's a minimum of $4,000. And if they're both $3,500, it's $7,000, like I made last week. And that's how I keep myself excited. So whether I buy 100 leads, whether I take out 5 Craigslist ads, whether I call 10 of them a day, all the different things we're probably going to talk about tonight, I think senior to that is I'm thinking when I'm making that phone call, when I'm taking out that ad, I'm going to take this ad out. I'm going to hopefully get 3 or 4 guys, and I'm going to close one of them, and that's a minimum of $2,000 to 60. And man, that motivates the heck out of me. And I just don't think some people are doing that. And if you don't have that excitement, I'll agree. If I'm not excited about something, I don't care who's telling me to do it and whatever, it's hard to get it done. And if anybody wants to jump in, feel free.
No, we can just basically see your forehead though, John. So.
Are you excited about my forehead?
I'm excited.
I'm
more excited now.
Yeah, it's better. It's better now.
I'll share this with you guys. Action can create excitement, and we've been messing around with ringless voicemail for a while, and I did one last week that really turned out to be an exciting factor for me. I generated over 25 leads off of about 1,100 drops with ringless voicemail. Now, I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to duplicating that and even doing better with it. We just ordered a batch of fresh leads, and hopefully that's going to be a track. But I'll tell you from my own personal perspective, that generated new energy with me, seeing those leads roll in there, and especially when we've tried it so many times and it doesn't work at all hard. So, action creates excitement. So exactly what John was talking about. And so, bear that in mind. If you haven't done anything, do something. generate excitement for yourself and your business by doing something, and that could make a big difference for you.
Yep.
And this is Ed. I'll share another motivational tool that I use, but even before I made a sale. And if you haven't made a sale here yet, or you're not exactly where you want to be, motivate yourself by understanding. One thing for me, working for anybody else absolutely turns my stomach. It really did. When I have to, the times and periods in my life when I had to go to an office, I had to show up, I had to, check in and ask permission to go to lunch or whatever. Just knowing that I'm under somebody else's thumb. And if you're in a JOB right now and you're in this business, you better get motivated. A way you can excite yourself is I get up every day, man. And when you go into your space, when you come home from that job and you're able to go to your office, to your computer or whatever, and start doing this, just imagine yourself doing what we all get to do, is get up when we want every day. I get up when I want, I do what I want, and nobody else tells me what I'm going to do every day. And that is I can't express it enough how liberating that is. Guys, I know you can relate, but it's another motivator for everybody who's never experienced that, and you're having to fight a JOB and do this on a part-time basis. There is no feeling like this. And when you can get up every day and say, you know what, hey, I'm going to go 4 or 5 days like I did last week. I'm going to the coast, take my RV, take my wife, go down and let's hang out on the beach, doing one of our calls, just enjoying fishing. And nobody tells me when I can do that. I do it when I want. That feeling alone is life-changing. And you've got to, if the money can't excite you because you haven't seen the money yet, it should excite you. But think about the freedom and the lifestyle that's waiting here for you to get active and do and get excited about what you're doing, because passion will sell. People will be attracted to you. I was talking to a lady this morning that I've been working with, and the same thing. That's what excites her, is having that freedom to be able to go and do like we go and do each and every day. So get excited about that. Define something that pushes your button to get you excited each and every day, whether it be the money. Like John, that motivator is a driver for him. Money's a driver for me too, man, but I've made a lot of money in my life. So what other things motivate me? For me, it's that freedom, that knowing that if I have to go to work for somebody else, I'm absolutely sick and miserable every single day. So that's my money motivator. That's my driver to be successful. Figure out what yours is and use it to your advantage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's great. But guys, let's try to stay on track here. And
Sorry.
I wanted to talk about, what you guys should be doing or we wanted to talk about, I should say, what you guys should be doing or something that, because I don't think everybody's doing this, and we haven't really harped on it enough. I don't think, we've been harping on it a little bit, but that is, how often should you be inviting people to webinars? How often should you be sending broadcast emails to your list? Because I've been talking to different members here, and nobody really does it enough. How often should you be sending out the webinar replays? Okay, so we wanted to kind of just lay out a good idea of a schedule for you, and it's a 5-time-a-week schedule. Okay, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and if you want to write this down, because we don't have this written down anywhere, at least yet, but you want to send out the webinar replay on Mondays. Okay, so and keep in mind too, with the marketing system, you're limited to 1 broadcast email every 24 hours. Now, I know some of you guys are also texting people or just actually physically calling them, whatever the case may be, but I think most people are sending out the broadcast emails. You want to send one out on Monday with the replay link, which will include Saturday's webinar. Okay. If you're new here, by the way, we do live webinars Wednesdays and Saturdays. Okay. So then on Tuesday, you're going to send an email to those same people. Okay. Because typically only 5 to 10%, maybe you get 20% if you're lucky, people are going to open your emails anyway. So it's going to be different people all the time. So you just don't be afraid to send too many emails. They can always unsubscribe. Tuesdays, you want to send an email out inviting people to the Wednesday live webinar. Okay. Wednesday, you're going to send another email out inviting people to the Wednesday live webinar. Okay. You probably guessed it. Thursday, you're going to send out a replay link that's going to include the Wednesday webinar. And then Fridays, you're going to invite for Saturday. And you're going to rinse and repeat. The more you stay in front of people, and it took me a while to learn this actually, but the more you keep sending emails to people, yeah, you're going to have people unsubscribe, but that doesn't matter because they're not interested. They're not great prospects for you. But you're also going to get people opening your emails more frequently because they're going to start to see your name more often. They're going to be more familiar with you, right? And more apt to become a good prospect. So don't be afraid to send too many emails. You can send one a day, and you should be sending one a day. So that was kind of really what I wanted to get at. And I also wanted to show you something here. I'm at the training site here. I'm logged in. If you go to resources and scroll down to sample follow-up emails, we have some follow-up emails here. You know, we'll probably add to this as time goes on. But these are just to get you started. And, you know, it says right here that these are meant to be used as templates because by no means should you be sending the exact same email every single day. But they're designed to give you an idea of how to write the email, you know, an idea of what to include in your emails. And then certainly add your personal touch, you know, personalize it. They'll work better when they're personalized from you. But what do we have here? We have an email to send to prospects who you spoke with. Okay, so you called back off of Craigslist or maybe Ringless voicemail or something like that, and you registered them for a live webinar. We have one here to send to prospects who did not show up to the live webinar. So you registered them, they didn't show. Okay, you can follow up with them. Here's just a sample email. I call them email blasts. This is a broadcast email that you would send from your system, inviting people to the live webinars, either Wednesday or Saturday. And I believe there's one more here. Oh, and here's a sample webinar or replay blast email that you can send out as well. So as you're continuing to generate leads, you know, some people may not buy, well, most won't buy today, right? They're going to buy at some point in the future. So you want to, you know, they're always still live leads until they unsubscribe. So you just keep hammering them with emails and changing up your subject lines and changing up the bodies of your emails, and you know, you'll be amazed at the positive results that you'll get from it.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to send an auto blast, maybe Steve, you could show them where it says, isn't there a recording on how to do that in our back office? Is that still there?
How to send a blast. Oh yeah, let's do that.
You go to your prosperitynexus.com.
There is a video here. Yeah, it's called Sending a Broadcast Email. Huh, of all things.
And it's a video on how to do it.
Yep.
And, you know, once you get used to doing it and how to personalize it, this will become very, very handy for you. And then eventually you start getting creative. I mean, I always notice emails sometimes that I get from other companies and businesses, and I go, oh, that's a really good subject area. You know, changing up your subject areas. There's all kinds of ways to personalize it and get creative. And these are important. The frequency and the content of your emails is important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's frequency. It's inviting more people to the webinars, you know, because they're fun when you have people on them. You know, when you have prospects on them, they're a lot of fun. You know, and you should be attending as well, of course. But yeah, I mean, probably one of the best ways, I agree with you, John, probably one of the best ways to get ideas for them is to, you know, hate to say it, but is to be on other people's lists as well, you know, and that includes, I suppose, being on our list, but, you know, even being on lists of people in other businesses, you know. There's a lot of creative people out there. You'll get a lot of garbage too, but, you know, there's a lot of creative people out there that are doing a pretty good job of marketing. So it's a great way to get ideas for your own emails.
Hey, Steve, if you would go back to the text on the email that we were sending out, the example text. There was one change that I wanted to bring out that I hadn't brought up yet, or that should be.
On the sample follow-up emails?
Sample blast.
Is there a typo?
No. It says it's sent from Zoom, our webinar. And when it actually, I had a guy say, well, I don't see anything from Zoom. It actually says from Prosperity Nexus. So
it does?
Where it...
I've never registered. I've never registered.
Yeah. Thanks for registering. Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up so everybody knows. Just be aware. Just change that. And when you copy that, just change it. You'll get a confirmation email from right there, provider Zoom. Just say you'll get a from Prosperity Nexus. That way they're looking in the subject line for that. So I ran into that the other day.
Learn something new every day. Yeah.
There you go.
I've never registered myself, so I had no idea.
Yeah. There we go.
Might be someone else too. Good point. No, I guess that's the only one. Might be in this too. Nope. All right.
So just everybody be aware.
It actually does come from a Zoom email address, but it does say Prosperity Nexus Team as the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
it comes from Zoom for sure.
Yep.
But it in the subject
line says Prosperity Nexus, so it just confused them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. It's good. Very cool. Did you guys have anything to add, or does anybody have any questions or comments about this? You know, is this something that you guys are doing now, or you know? And I know we have new people on the line too. That this may not make any sense right this second, but you know, I mean, you know, it's you know what you call touching your prospect on a as frequently as possible. It's increasing the frequency, which is going to increase dialogue. It's going to increase emails back to you. It's going to increase your attendance on webinars. It's going to increase people watching your, watching the replay. So, with that frequency comes increased productivity.
One thing I notice that's beautiful about the system that we have is when you get them registered, whether they go or they don't, they're going to get an automatic email back. That also, this system is beautiful. How it keeps feeding, thank you for attending, or they didn't, and notice you didn't attend. What happened? We've got a great system in place to utilize, and I've never seen anything like it before. And it's just no reason why you can't be successful with it. It's awesome.
Once in the beginning, I guess it could be a challenge. I know. I don't know
like
if John.
I
don't know if John Molinario is on here, and I don't think he is. But he was having some troubles. We did find that Internet Explorer doesn't integrate great with our marketing system, and there was some frustrations with being able to cut and paste, which sounded so basic, but there were some issues because of a browser issue. But as you start to kind of get more used to it, more accustomed to it, you're going to send an email out every day at 5 o'clock or every day at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever the case may be. It becomes second nature eventually, and then it's just easy. You're just going to quick type something up. You're not going to worry if it's perfect because it'll never be perfect. I like to test out subject lines, and I always think that they're great when I send them. And, I'll check my open rate and, hey, yeah, sometimes they are great. Sometimes, they're terrible. People don't open it, so you never really know. So get creative, be creative. Don't worry if it's perfect. And, just one thing I would say when you type up any emails is check for typos, check for grammar, and make sure your link is correct. Otherwise,
And in that subject area, we discussed this, I believe, on another one. When, it's nice to personalize it in the main body, but you can personalize it in the subject area and put that thing right there and say, Dave, ... If Dave gets something that's addressed to Dave, he may check it out,
There's a greater chance of it being clicked if it has their name in the subject line for sure.
You got to highlight and copy that name at the bottom in the blast. If you don't remember, got to go there. I personally, I haven't used Internet Explorer in 10 years as a browser. My main Chrome seems to get me, it's much faster. I've used Mozilla, and I've used Chrome as my primary. It just, for everybody out there who may not understand.
But I don't see what that would do with a cut and paste. Has nothing to do with anything. That's the computer.
I did a screen share with them. It was I don't know.
You mean
it was weird.
You mean Prosperity Nexus marketing system wouldn't accept a cut and paste from Internet Explorer? Wow.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
So if, in fact, you ever have problems using Internet Explorer, just download Chrome and use Chrome on your computer. I found that every hacker in the world is trying to get into Internet Explorer and whatever Microsoft puts out there. So I just started using Chrome a decade ago, and it's
Chrome seems to work well.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody has any questions, feel free. This is an open forum, so if you have any comments or questions, just feel free to blurt them out.
I want to welcome my new rep, from Connecticut, Lee McPeck. I think I see him on the line. So congratulations for coming aboard the team and welcome. And Lee is Lee's already kicking butt, man. He's got about 9 amazingly hot prospects from Craigslist ads, and he tweaked his own ad, and he's really working the biz. So welcome to the team, Lee.
Yeah, hey, welcome, Lee. Yeah, why don't you share that? You know, I think that's a success story. Do you want to share that, John? What you told me earlier about that Craigslist?
Yeah, well, he's been really hustling. We used a template, and then Lee himself changed the template, changed the subject area, did some creative stuff on his own, which is great, and been taking him out in several different cities. And man, we got some really very high performance type. Not everyone. There's a few, of course, regular, but some really good high performance people that are very interested in this. So I'll be surprised. Hey, just doing that alone without any other types of marketing, as long as you can keep active on Craigslist, can really, you know, that's how I launched my business.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think we've talked about that a few times. If you still have an active Craigslist account, you know, use it, because it's, you know, really producing good leads, high quality people, you know, and then, you know, people that resonate with the business and that are ultimately coming on board.
Yeah, you take 3 to 5 ads out during a week. Don't take 5 ads out in one day. Even, you know, even if you took out 1 a day, 4 days in a row, and, you know, you got 2 to 3 leads on each of them. I mean, that's 10 to 15 leads in a week. And guys, you're going to get a sale out of that, because these are a lot higher quality.
Yeah, when you compare it to, you know, any sort of email leads or anything like that, these are going to be better. You know, they're just better. They're just better leads, and probably cheaper leads as well. You know, you can do Craigslist super cheap. Did we want to hit on this in-house financing, or did we do that already? I can't remember.
Well, I know. Well, yeah. You know, it's going to be a little tricky initially when you get up and running. But I did one today for one of my one-up guys, who's already got his one-up and his next sale. And this guy wasn't going to come in, but he saw financing at the end, and now he's going to come in. And all I did was take that contract we drew up and send it to him. And I went over each point. I said, okay, number 1, it says this. Any questions? Number 2, you got to be a member of PNT. Number 3, you realize that you're going to have to pay off the loan from the proceeds. And I just talked it out with him, and he was fine with everything, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't want to necessarily go through all this. Just make sure you're familiar with this, because, you know, we're getting people. I talked to somebody and sent them the terms on Friday last week. You know, we're finding people off of the webinar. This is something that's catching people's attention. You know, people that, you know, don't have the greatest credit in the world, or they don't currently have a job, so they can't qualify for conventional financing. But they want to do this business, so we haven't. You know, it's a viable option here. So make sure you're familiar. Just make sure you're familiar with it, so that if somebody asks you, you know, you'll be able to, be able to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, you know, if you get 5 or 6 of these paying you a third down and paying you monthly income, that's accounts receivable. And those guys probably wouldn't have been sales. Now, one little suggestion I would say for people that have been around a while, put an email blast together and send it out. You know, Dave, fantastic news. We have no credit check, no income verification. Boy, that's a hot subject. And then don't put all the terms and conditions in there and say, hey, if you like the biz and you've had a problem coming aboard with commercial financing or raising the money and it's not working for you, get back to me as soon as possible, because blah, 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 you know? And that's a way to drum up some sales from your back office.
Yeah. I mean, between that and the
50-50.
The no selling 50-50 system. I mean,
you could do both in one email. Yeah.
Where the heck is it? Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so you know, I know I've sent out emails and you know, gotten responses back just saying, hey, you know, we've removed the 2 obstacles that stop people from being able to get started with our business and pursue their dreams, there's a lot of people out there that are afraid that they're not going to be successful. Okay. So we've removed that obstacle, and that's this, our no selling system. Then, there's people that, they'd love to finance it, but their credit's terrible, or, whatever the case may be. Well, we've removed that obstacle too, and that's how we're presenting it on the webinar also. And, but if you, send it an email as well, because most people we invite to the webinar don't show up live, right? So, got to let them know about it. And these are two really hot points right now. Two
big buttons, guys. Those are two big buttons. Yep. I don't think I can do it. Hey, we just handled that one. Well, I don't have the money. Well, we just handled, I can't qualify. No, we already handled that. Now what's your excuse?
Yeah, think of something else. They'll just hang up. Ran out of excuses. Cool. Well,
if there's no questions, I think a wrap.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Any new people here want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, if you're on the line and you're new and you'd like to say hi, what do they have to do, Steve? Just unmute themselves, raise their hand. I forget what it goes on.
I never even know. I think you just
unmute.
Just unmute yourself.
Unmute.
We're open.
Unmute yourself. Should be bottom corner, left corner of your screen. You just click the unmute. Anybody have any stories that worked for them well this week? Any prospect conversations that went well, or something you said that others ought to know about? A bunch of shy people on that.
All righty. Well, it is Monday. Okay. Maybe it's a little tired. Did you have something, Michael?
No. I'm fine.
All right, guys. Well, hey, let's keep it rocking then, or get it rocking. Let's more touches. Frequency with your marketing and your follow up. Let's get people to the webinar on Wednesday, and have a good rest of the night.
And one thing to recap something that I stated, and then Michael said it too. That the two ways to get excitement are you being excited initially, thinking about one of these sales could be 6,500, 20. And then at the same time, once you make these sales, how excited that's going to make you. So think about those two things and try to get a couple sales, because I can guarantee you haven't really seen the power of this business until you've had a week or even a day with 3 sales in it, making you $9,000 or $14,000 or $7,500. Man.
Or 22 grand.
22 grand. That wakes you up really quick.
Absolutely.
You start going, whoa! I guarantee you'll start working the business and making some blasts.
That's when it gets fun.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Okay.
That's a wrap.
All right,
Take
guys.
care, everybody.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.